Welcome to Sustainability Soundbites, presented by E&E Leader. Grupo Bimbo expands regenerative agriculture by 73%. Grupo Bimbo increased farmland under regenerative agriculture practices by nearly 73% in 2025, bringing more than 500,000 hectares into a program increasingly tied to the food company's water, sourcing, and emissions strategy. Grupo Bimbo ended 2025 with more than 500,000 hectares, or roughly 1.24 million acres, under regenerative agriculture practices, up from more than 290,000 hectares a year earlier. The nearly 73% increase is one of several environmental updates the Mexico-based food company disclosed in a series of reports published July 29th, covering energy, water, packaging, and community programs. The company says healthier soils can improve moisture retention and water efficiency while supporting biodiversity and strengthening the resilience of agricultural production, and it has been expanding regenerative practices within its supply chain since 2020. Water management moves beyond the factory water, is increasingly connected to that agricultural strategy. Grupo Bimbo said it has expanded water stress assessments across sourcing regions as it develops mitigation plans intended to protect the continuity of important crops, extending water risk management beyond factory consumption and into the agricultural areas supplying ingredients. Within its Mexican operations, the company reported that 97% of conditioned water was reused in 2025 for operational purposes after treatment, and vehicle washing operations, including automated and pressure washing systems, use 100% recycled water. Reducing factory consumption can lower direct operational demand, but agricultural water availability is what ultimately determines whether the ingredients feeding those facilities remain reliably available, which is why the two are now managed together. Electrification reaches nearly 4,000 vehicles in Mexico. Grupo Bimbo is also extending its energy transition into distribution. The company's Mexican operations ended 2025 with 3,991 electric vehicles, along with another 263 vehicles using alternative fuels, a fleet the company describes as the largest electric delivery fleet in Mexico and Latin America, built in part on a multi-year order for electric step vans from manufacturer Harbinger. Grupo Bimbo has continued advancing its transition to renewable electricity in Mexico using wind and solar generation, in line with its stated goal of sourcing 100% of its electricity from renewable sources by 2025, part of a longer-term commitment to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The company also highlighted its oven efficiency program, which focuses on operation, maintenance, and calibration of bakery ovens to cut energy use inside production facilities. Packaging and waste move closer to full circularity. Packaging is another area of reported progress. The company said 99.6% of its packaging in Mexico was recyclable in 2025, while 97% of operational waste was diverted from landfills and 20 facilities achieved zero waste to landfill status. During 2025, more than 800,000 kilograms of flexible plastic packaging and approximately 540,000 kilograms of industrial plastic waste were reprocessed into more than 1.8 million crates and 250,000 pallets for the company's own logistics system, work done in partnership with recovery organizations including Ecosi, Ecolana, Plastianguis, and Reciclamania Evoluciona. That approach moves the circularity discussion beyond whether consumer packaging is technically recyclable, creating an internal destination for recovered material rather than depending entirely on outside recycling markets. The July disclosures cover a wide range of programs, but regenerative agriculture increasingly connects several of them. Electricity and fuel are largely operational inputs for a food producer, while agricultural land, soil health, and water availability sit farther upstream, where conditions affect the availability and resilience of ingredients themselves. Grupo Bimbo has not provided enough detail in these July updates to quantify how the additional acreage affected crop yields, procurement costs, or Scope 3 emissions, a gap that echoes the outcome verification questions regenerative agriculture faces industry-wide. What the figures do show is scale. Environmental management is moving beyond individual factories into the agricultural systems supplying ingredients, a shift The company is also financing directly through sustainability-linked debt tied to Scope 3 targets. Interested in a soundbite sponsorship? Check out the energy category, currently sponsored by Amazon. Reach out to our team for more information. Thank you for listening.